5 people waiting.
Good.
That thumbs up means I'm live. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Riccio. Welcome to my 70s kitchen. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're doing a little live action for you. Gonna make some pad thai. I thought we'd either have a kiki or have a stir fry. I chose a stir fry, but you never know what's gonna happen after. You know, we could have a kiki. I'm not really sure. And so I've already heated up. I'm gonna turn it down again. Chucky the burner. This burner gets a new name every single time that usually relates to either a very privileged child or a horror movie. And I think we're gonna go with Chucky this time. So I'm gonna turn it down for a second because it's time to smoke. But yeah, so we're making pad thai. And what I'm doing today is, completely influenced by Andy Ricker and the Pok Pok cookbook and his restaurants. Why I like it is there's so much pad thai out there that's just really sweet, really sour, all these recipes with like ketchup in it and whatnot. And that's just not appealing to me. Like this is this has the level of umami, but it's much more subtle and it lets all the flavors kind of come through it. So when we do it with shrimp and tofu, we're not gonna use any chicken or anything like that. Sometimes you get pad thai and it's like peanut noodles, and that's not really the way it should be. Because it's a stir fry, we have our mise en place all in place. But before we get to the cooking, thought I would take a few questions from Jenny Salami, our social media manager.
Flatbread Company wants to know, what is something you'll never make again?
Flatbread Company wants to know something I will never make again. You know what I'm weirdly bad at for some reason? It is everything okay over there?
Yeah.
Okay. I have weirdly bad luck with carbonara. I'm not sure why. You'd think I can make all kinds of things, cacio e pepe, spaghetti and garlic and oil, but for some reason carbonara just doesn't go well for me. And then I had this version when I was in Italy that was so goddamn good that I was like, you know what? If it's not this, I don't even really want to eat it, to be honest. So I guess it would be carbonara, that, and anything involving frozen peas. We don't do that. We don't involve frozen peas in this household.
Casket Beer wants to know, KGB, salted or unsalted?
Yeah, salted. Listen, I know I probably drank enough that my palate is probably, at least a little bit shot in terms of salt, so I probably need more than the average bear. But definitely salted butter all the time. I'm not a baker, and even if I was, I'd probably use salted butter there too. Kerrygold butter to me is almost like it tastes like cheddar cheese almost. Like it's delicious. I don't know what it is about it. But definitely roll salted with that or plugra, however you do it. That's my advice. Obviously, you don't have to do anything I say. And I'm not saying I know, look at me. But yeah, I would say the KGB salted.
Jackie Geary at Portland Cake Company wants to know, what's your favorite snack?
What's my favorite snack? Besides red wine? Let's see. My favorite snack. I'm not a snacky person. Like, I'm not somebody who keeps like crackers, chips, carrot sticks. I tend to have like 2, maybe 3 meals a day. So I'm not really snacking that much. And I guess if I had to choose a favorite snack, it would be an extremely unhealthy one, which are those Lindt white chocolate truffle balls. Even though white chocolate isn't real chocolate, I don't care. I know it's not real chocolate. It's delicious. And those are wonderful. And I really, I'm going to have a little something between meals. Awesome. A little chocolate. Sounds good. What do you
Ashley, the beer mama, wants to know, is Tony really a human that is stuck in cat form?
Yeah. So Ashley, who, friend of the show. Hi, Ashley. Tony is, in fact, a human stuck inside a cat body. When we have conversations, it's generally known that I'm sort of the puppet for the cat. Like, I don't really make the rules around here. The cat kind of, I'm like, it's like a marionette kind of deal. Like, I'm just going through the motions. I mean, this is really Tony's show, not my show. Now, luckily we have somebody who, oh, look at that. Would you look at that? The mention of the name, this person right here, this human being who hasn't been out the whole time. Yeah? I don't know how you knew to come out just then, but now you gotta go.
Because he's a human.
Now I gotta wash my hands.
Last one for now, aka Triple G wants to know, how many blue Oxford shirts do you own?
I own 8 of these shirts. Surprisingly, even the ones that I thought that I've destroyed along the way, like when I made the Brazilian stew and got the palm oil all over them, I only get my shirts dry cleaned. I don't get them laundered. I get them dry cleaned with no starch because I just think if you're going to have decent shirts, you might as well take care of them, although technically they say dry clean is a little harder on them, but I never do anything but that. That's how I roll. But yeah, this is my uniform because of my pretty blue eyes, and now we're gonna make some pad thai. So we have a lot of things going on here, basically. We're gonna start, so there's peanut oil going in the wok. We're gonna start with an egg, and why are you shaking your head?
It's fine. Technical difficulties.
Tech diff. This is live. We can have tech diff. It's we're good. Oh, he's hanging up his headphones. He's done. He's fed up. Am I fired? I'm fired. So there's that. So basically, our pad thai today, like I said, we're working with shrimp from Sopo Seafood, which is absolutely pristine. We love them. They're a friend of the show. Also, a new friend of the show, by the way, is the Dunstan Tappan Table in Scarborough, a restaurant that I enjoy very much. You should go and get the wings. They are awesome, awesome buffalo wings, but we're making pad thai right now. But, side thought. So we do shrimp tofu. Once the oil heats up here, I'm going to toss the egg in. I'm doing basically like, all of these are double portions because I'm going to basically make the portion for you and then make more for us after. As Andy Ricker says, this is a dish best made in a smaller quantity. Like, you don't want to make pad thai for 9 people at one time. Just use multiple woks, take the extra time. It really is good advice. So the egg is going to go in, followed by, we got some dried shrimp here. So dried shrimp are little crunchy, salty bits of deliciousness that you rinse, and then stir fry for about 5 minutes so they get nice and crispy. And then I'm going to have some wine. And then I'm going to talk about the Gruner Veltliner that I'm going to have with the pad thai in a second. So, and go with the dried shrimp. Next up are some preserved salted radish here. So it's all these very pungent, sometimes kind of foreign and seeming ingredients. All of them available at your basic Asian market, generally. So that goes in, and then we're going to saute some mung bean sprouts. I'm sorry, the tofu is going to go in the beginning as well. And then mung bean sprouts, and then these noodles here these are fresh or semi-fresh rice noodles. These are in the refrigerated section of the Asian market. So I prefer those to the dried ones. That's just me. That's how I like to do it. So I'm going to put this egg in now. And you want that to be kind of like a angry bubbling. That means it's doing it right. Because we're going to basically smash this egg up with everything else in it. So let that go for, so you see these edges really starting to, it happens fast and it's hot oil. So they're going to start crisping up a little bit. And as they get to this point, you want to add some of the dried shrimp, some of the salted radish that I've soaked, and a bit of the tofu. Now I'm using normally I would use Haiwa tofu for most things, but for this dish, you want to go with pressed tofu because it's extra firm. it makes a big difference. You want to kind of give this a little bit of a stir fry, and then the egg, we can kind of start breaking that up, mixing all of this. But this dish happens fast. So again, a lot of flavors going in right now. There's a lot of salt. There's a lot of umami. There's a lot of texture. Okay, so that goes in, and now we're going to add some mung bean sprouts. Okay. And a handful. I've taken these noodles. I've soaked them in warm water, and I've snipped them up into smaller portions. You know, hoping, for the most part, it's hard to kind of get a precise length on them, but you want to stiff them up a little bit. You don't want to be too long. And now to answer Loreline's question about what the sauce we use. So this is a combination of tamarind water, simple syrup made with palm sugar, and fish sauce. Now, Ricker would recommend a Thai brand of fish sauce. I'm using the Vietnamese. I'm using Red Boat just because I like it. But I mean, whatever your favorite brand. Three Crabs is a great brand. I think Golden Boy is an excellent brand. But I think Red Boat has the best flavor to it. So now we're going to let it stir fry for a little bit and get these noodles to a point where they're tender, And again, using a wok, you want to keep the temperature nice and high. If you're using a saute pan, you can actually lower it a little bit at this point, but that's not what we're doing. So, how's everything look so far? Okay.
Amazing.
Smell good. Smells like pad thai, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do that's different from Andy Ricker. So you generally, pad thai usually has an element of roasted peanuts in it, which are delicious. But I decided to actually go ahead and puree up some peanut brittle. So an Asian peanut brittle. So it gives a little bit more sweetness, just a little bit, a little nicer texture. I just kind of pulverize it in the food processor. And then also we're going to add our shrimp. So the shrimp are going to go in right now. And with our sauce and everything. You want to make sure those get a lot of heat on them. Shrimp don't take that long to cook. You can generally judge it by the color of these. And the whole key with, pad thai and any stir fry, noodle dish, whatever it is, just kind of don't leave it. It's you have to kind of be aware the whole time of what you're doing. But we're gonna get our shrimp cooked here. Towards the end of the stir frying process, I'm gonna add now some garlic chives that I've cut into like 1-inch lengths here. And I'm going to add some of my peanut brittle powder. About 2 tablespoons or so. We'll hit it a little more as a garnish along with some lime. So that should be that. And we don't have much longer. I'm kind of more just waiting for the shrimp to cook than anything else.
Dear Ronald wants to know, are your peaches fuzzy?
Are my peaches fuzzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fuzzy in general. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. So, our shrimp are turning the right color presently. And then we're going to be done with this whole jam because I don't want to overcook my noodles, but I don't want to undercook my shrimp, although there are worse things than high quality shrimp at any temperature. You know what I miss? Maine shrimp. Remember those? We can occasionally, like a research boat goes out and then a restaurant gets a shipment of them. So you get to enjoy them again. But I think we're kind of coming to a close here with this. So we're going to plate on our beautiful blue bowl that looks like basically ice on a window from Edgecombe Potters. That we love. Let's see.
Your pick, watermelon tang hulu or watermelon dipped in reduced fish sauce?
What's the question?
Your pick, watermelon tang hulu or watermelon dipped in reduced fish sauce?
What's that pointing?
Plate over here.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Wait, what's the question again? I'm sorry, Jen.
Your pick, watermelon tang hulu or watermelon dipped in reduced fish sauce? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, pass.
I know what tang is. I know what hulu is. I didn't think it had anything to do with food. Yeah, I don't know. I like watermelon with watermelon is delicious with hoisin sauce. Actually, if you must know.
That sounds good.
It is delicious. All right, so now we're into that. We're going to smack this with a little wedge of lime, like so. I think we might as well hit it with a little more of the peanut brittle powder. And you know what? Just because we're being extra sleazy about it, a little malt and salt. Never hurt anything. Flip it over the shoulder. Brush that dirt off your shoulder. And, yeah, a little peanut powder. Here we go. Peanut brittle powder. That's where I do it a little bit differently. And now I'm getting excited to eat. And you know what you should have with this? The best thing about Austrian wine is that it often comes in a liter bottle. And you know what? For those nights when a bottle just isn't enough, or 4 bottles isn't enough, and you want like 4.75 or whatever, get liter bottles because they give you that extra mileage that you're looking for. So I'm going to flip my hair. I'm going to drink a little Gruner. This is from Crush Distributors. This is the Paul D. Gruner Veltliner. It's you can find it at most wine stores in Maine. Yep, still tastes like Gruner. And then it's time to now in Thailand. I'm fairly sure that it's not really common to eat with chopsticks. So we're going to eat with fork. But this looks pretty kind of delicious to me. I don't know.
It smells amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't kick this pad thai out of bed for eating crackers, or wildly say. A little more salt, but a lot of texture happening there. The biggest problem with pad thai with me are undercooked noodles. When you get noodles that kind of like slide off right off the fork, you know, like that ruins the whole thing. This is really great because it has all that umami. It's got the salt from the actual salt, but the dried shrimp, it's like another subtle texture added to it. You got some sweetness from the palm sugar and the tamarind water. Now, those things I didn't really talk about, but tamarind water basically is made from like tamarind pulp that you essentially simmer for about a half an hour. Then you strain through a fine mesh strainer to make tamarind water. And it makes much better pad thai than tamarind extract. A lot of people will try to sell you tamarind extract, which to me is too sweet, too thick, and cloying for pad thai, in my opinion. Palm sugar simple syrup is just regular simple syrup made with palm sugar, which you can find in the Asian market instead of regular sugar. And then again, you know, fish sauce, which I might add a little touch of that too. But there you have it. That's pad thai. That's some Some goddamn pad thai.
ANC Grocery wants to know if you're taking phone calls.
Nope. Joe, you can call my 900 number, which we'll talk about later. $5 a minute, $5.99 a minute, and I'll take all the phone calls you want.
B Sharptooth wants to know, what would you want to eat from the dinner scene in Temple of Doom?
The monkey brains. I love brains. I love cat brains. I haven't had any other animals' brains before, but I am a little shy about them being completely raw in that scene. Also, my phobia of insects comes from that movie, from that scene in that room, which is fucking terrible. But yeah, I guess the monkey brains would make me the most curious. I certainly wouldn't faint. I'll try anything once. I'd rather have the monkey brains than frozen peas.
Last but certainly not least, Navari Beer wants to know, where did you go, my lovely? I want to know.
Now, Shaheen, I'm assuming this is you, and you're referencing a song by No Mercy called "Where Do You Go, My Lovely." And you know what is upsetting about that is there's no song that is more just completely different from what you would assume. A band named No Mercy, you're assuming like, you know, Guar or Satyricon or Burzum or, you know, and they're literally, there's plenty of mercy in their music. And I can't believe you referenced that song. It makes me kind of want to bring up that song by Next, that, you know, Baby When You're Grinding. I get so excited, I can't find it, whatever. That sort of is on the same level to me as what, and it's just like, it's like if Next was called like, you know, agnostic brutality for, I don't know, you know, like, it's that kind of thing. Like No Mercy, like what are they not being merciful to? I don't really understand. Like no mercy to how shitty we are. I mean, maybe that's it. Like we're not merciful. We're relentless in our shittiness, and we're gonna keep it coming. And if you don't like it, well,
We got a question here for you.
we do.
The Andre the Cat.
Under the cat.
Joe haven't OnlyFans yet.
Yep. I mean, do I? I don't know. Ask Jen. She handles everything these days. I'm usually just blacked out, and if I do film anything, like I don't know where it ends up. So I may have an OnlyFans. I don't really know if I do or not. But Jen, do I have an OnlyFans?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, cool.
sure.
Yeah. So that's like my 900 number. 900 number is like for people from the 80s, and OnlyFans is for people from now. Because, as I've always said, you know, thank you, Tony Soprano, for making us larger men desirable. I appreciate that. Did us a lot of favors. Thank you. We got anything else, kids?
I got nothing.
Am I signing off? Is this Joe Riccio signing off from his from the television event of the century, or at least so far of the year, a very special Coma, My 70s Kitchen. I'm Joe Riccio, and thank you very much for joining us tonight.